You've got to be kidding me. Are we seriously supposed to just accept what WWE pulled last night on Smackdown? Because I'm telling you right now, what happened in those final moments wasn't just controversial, it was an absolute slap in the face to every single fan who's been invested in this storyline. And if you're not angry about this, then you haven't been paying attention. Drop a comment right now and tell me if you think WWE has completely lost the plot, because what I'm about to break down is going to make your blood boil. Last night's SmackDown was supposed to give us answers. We were supposed to get clarity on the road to WrestleMania. Instead, WWE turned everything upside down with a last-minute announcement that sent the entire WWE universe into absolute mayhem. And I'm not talking about the good kind of chaos, I'm talking about the kind that makes you question whether the people running this company have any idea what they're doing anymore. But before I tear into exactly what happened and why this could be the biggest mistake WWE has made all year, smash the like button right now, hit subscribe, and turn on those notifications, because Pro Wrestling Alert is the only place where you're getting the unfiltered truth about what's really going on in professional wrestling. We don't sugarcoat anything here, and we're not afraid to call out WWE when they mess up this badly. So here's what went down. The show was building to what we all thought would be a massive main event angle. We had weeks of build-up, weeks of tension, and everything was pointing toward a huge confrontation that would set the stage for the next premium live event. The arena was electric, fans were on their feet, and then Nick Aldis walks out with that smug look on his face and drops a bombshell that nobody, and I mean nobody, saw coming. Aldis announced that due to unforeseen circumstances and what's best for business, the match we were promised for the upcoming premium live event was being completely restructured. Not modified, not adjusted, restructured. The number one contender that earned their spot? Suddenly thrown into a multi-man match. The champion who's been carrying SmackDown on their back for months? Now facing opponents they've already beaten multiple times. Are you serious right now, WWE? The crowd immediately erupted in boos, and I'm talking nuclear heat. Fans were throwing trash in the ring, chanting refund and this is awful, and honestly, can you blame them? These people paid their hard-earned money to see a show that was supposed to deliver, and instead they got last-minute creative changes that make absolutely zero sense from any logical standpoint. And here's where it gets even worse. After Aldis made this announcement, the superstars involved in this whole mess stormed the ring, and what ensued was absolute pandemonium. We're talking chairs flying, announce tables being destroyed, security getting obliterated, and the show going off the air with SmackDown general manager having completely lost control of his show. Now, let me tell you why this is so infuriating on multiple levels, and I want you to comment below after each point and tell me if you agree or disagree, because I know this is going to be controversial. First off, WWE has been preaching for years about long-term storytelling and listening to the fans. They've told us repeatedly that they're committed to building stars the right way, giving us satisfying payoffs, and making sure that storylines actually make sense. So explain to me how throwing away weeks of television builds and inserting random stipulation changes at the last possible second is good storytelling. It's not. It's lazy. It's reactionary. And it completely undermines everything they've been trying to build. Think about it, fans have been following this storyline religiously. They've been watching every week, engaging on social media, buying merchandise, and investing emotionally in these characters. And what does WWE do? They pull the rug out from under everyone with zero explanation beyond corporate speak about unforeseen circumstances. What unforeseen circumstances? Was someone injured? No. Did someone get suspended? No. This was purely a creative decision made by people who clearly don't understand what fans actually want. Second, and this is crucial, this decision completely devalues the concept of earning your spot. In professional wrestling, we're supposed to believe that wins and losses matter, that when someone earns a championship opportunity, they've actually earned it through their performances. But when you can just arbitrarily change the rules whenever you feel like it, what's the point? Why should fans care about qualifying matches? Why should we care about number one contender matches? Why should we invest in anything if WWE is just going to change everything on a whim? Let me paint you a picture of what this does to the credibility of the entire brand. Imagine you're a wrestler in that locker room who's been working their tail off for months, following the creative direction you've been given, doing everything asked of you, and then you find out on live television, at the same time as the fans, that everything's changing. How are you supposed to feel? How are you supposed to maintain any confidence in the system when the system can flip overnight? And before anyone in the comments says it's all a work or this is just to build heat, let me stop you right there. Yes, professional wrestling is predetermined, and yes, chaos can be used as an effective storytelling device. But there's a massive difference between planned chaos that serves a narrative purpose and legitimate creative confusion that alienates your audience. What happened on SmackDown wasn't clever booking, it was damage control that created more damage. Third point, and this one really gets under my skin, the timing of this announcement. Why wait until the final segment of SmackDown? Why not address this at the beginning of the show so fans know what they're getting into? Why not make this announcement on social media beforehand so people can decide whether they want to invest 3 hours into watching? The answer is simple: because WWE knew fans would be upset, and they wanted to get through the show before dealing with the backlash. That's disrespectful. That's treating your audience like they're just numbers on a spreadsheet instead of passionate fans who deserve transparency. And the fact that Nick Aldis was the one delivering this message, making him the fall guy for what is clearly a decision made by higher UPS, is just cowardly booking. If Triple H or whoever's making these decisions wants to shake things up, have the courage to own it instead of hiding behind the general manager character. Now let's talk about what happened after the announcement, because the chaos that ensued tells you everything you need to know about how badly this was received. When multiple superstars are legitimately expressing frustration through their performances, when the crowd is unified in their negative reaction, and when social media immediately explodes with criticism, that's not getting heat, that's losing your audience. The brawl that broke out involved at least 8 different wrestlers, and while it was physically impressive with some incredible spots including that insane dive to the outside that took out half the roster, it felt hollow because we don't even know what we're fighting toward anymore. The stakes have been completely mudded. Are we supposed to care about who looked strong in this brawl? Are we supposed to believe this changes anything when WWE just demonstrated they'll change the rules whenever they want? And can we talk about how this affects the championship itself? The title is supposed to be the most prestigious prize in the company, and the path to the championship is supposed to mean something. But when you keep changing the challengers and the match stipulations, you're not elevating the championship, you're devaluing it. You're telling everyone that it doesn't matter who holds the title or who challenges for it because creative can just hit the reset button at any time. Here's what really concerns me about this whole situation, and I want you to pay close attention because this is about more than just one bad creative decision. This represents a pattern we've been seeing from WWE where short-term shock value is being prioritized over long-term storytelling consistency. They're so obsessed with creating moments and viral clips that they're forgetting about the connective tissue that makes those moments actually matter. You can't just throw chaos at the wall and hope it sticks. Chaos without purpose is just noise. And right now, SmackDown is making a lot of noise without saying anything meaningful. The road to WrestleMania is supposed to be the most exciting time of the year, where every storyline has clear direction and momentum builds week after week. Instead, we're getting whiplash from constant changes that seem designed to keep us confused rather than entertained. Let me ask you this, and I want honest answers in the comments: how many of you were less excited about the upcoming premium live event after last night's SmackDown? Because I'm seeing a ton of comments from people saying they're considering not ordering the show because they have no idea what to expect anymore, and they're tired of investing in storylines that get abandoned or completely rewritten. That's a massive problem for WWE, and it's one they need to address immediately. Now, some people are speculating that this chaos is leading to an even bigger swerve, that maybe there's someone returning or debuting who's going to be inserted into this situation. And look, I hope that's true. I hope there's actually a master plan here that's going to make sense when we look back on it. But based on WWE's track record with last-minute changes, I'm not holding my breath. And even if there's a big surprise coming, does that excuse the way this was handled? Does that excuse leaving fans confused and frustrated? Does that excuse undermining the superstars who've been carrying this storyline? I don't think so. There are ways to build intrigue and surprise without making your audience feel like their time has been wasted. The SmackDown locker room has to be in complete turmoil right now. You've got wrestlers who prepared for one scenario now having to adjust to something completely different with limited time to pivot. You've got creative teams scrambling to make this work. You've got production trying to figure out how to present this mess in a way that makes sense. And you've got fans who are rightfully demanding answers about where this is all going. What kills me is that SmackDown has been the stronger show compared to Raw for months now. The wrestling has been excellent, the storylines have been compelling, and there's been a real sense of momentum building. So why would you risk all of that goodwill with a decision that benefits nobody? The only explanation is that someone panicked, someone got cold feet about the original plan, or someone had an idea they thought was genius without considering the consequences. Here's the bottom line, and this is what I need everyone watching this video to understand: WWE is at a crossroads right now. They can either commit to the kind of consistent, long-term storytelling that fans are begging for, or they can continue down this path of last-minute changes and creative chaos that drives people away. And if they choose the latter, they're going to find out real quick that the WWE Universe's patience is not infinite. So what happens next? We've got less than 3 weeks until the premium live event, and Smackdown has to somehow clean up this mess and give us a reason to care. They need to explain the logic behind this decision, they need to rebuild the stakes, and they need to convince fans that this isn't just random chaos for chaos's sake. If you've stuck with me this far, I want to hear from you right now. Comment below and tell me, are you still excited for the upcoming premium live event after what happened on Smackdown, or has WWE lost you? Do you think there's a master plan here, or is this just bad creative? And most importantly, what would you do to fix this situation if you were in charge? Make sure you like this video, subscribe to Pro Wrestling Alert for more unfiltered wrestling content, and share this with every wrestling fan you know, because we need to send a message to WWE that we're paying attention and we're not going to accept lazy storytelling. The wrestling business is better when fans hold companies accountable, and that's exactly what we're doing here. Smackdown ended in chaos, but the real chaos is what's happening behind the scenes with creative decisions that make no sense. Stay tuned, stay alert, and I'll see you in the next one.